Welcome back, guys. Today we're going to be ranking the Blue Lock Masters, and we're going to do it into two different categories. One on their teaching styles, and the second one on how good of a player they are. And it's going to be all my personal opinion, of course. Um, yeah, let's get started. Starting off with number one manager, in my opinion, it's obviously Snuffy. I think this is an undoubtable truth, purely for the fact, even in the manga itself, Noah explains he's probably the smartest player in all of world football in Blue Lock universe. In the Blue Lock universe. So that for simple fact, also his teaching style is more based off tactics. He's basically what Pep would be if he was in Blue Lock. Tactics. Although also Noah also uses rational play. Snuffy does that, but he implements it in a better way, in my opinion, because up until the last match, Baru was the only one that went against the system, and even then, in my opinion, I feel like Snuffy knew that Baru at some point was gonna reject his plans. So even then, you could say Snuffy planned that out as well. His mind is perfect for a manager, so it makes sense that he's undoubtedly number one in terms of management skills. Number two, I would generally put Loki as the second best manager or slash master in the Egoist League. Now hear me out why. Purely for the fact that he's one of the few managers where the players haven't like went against the system to the extent of Noah, Snuffy, and everything like that, right? And for the fact you can't deny he's won every game so far. Obviously, right now, as it stands, we're against the Bayern Munich versus PXG match as I'm recording this. But still, as it still stands, he hasn't lost a game. He switches the system around, and yes, he does. Spoiler alert! Is a very good spoiler alert. The only reason he's here is to help Charles develop because he wants to be the best player in the world. But at the same time, his tactics is he's more rotational from what I can see, and his style of play is that he has a separate system for Ren and a separate system for Shido, right? So he's very versatile in the way he manages. So that's why I think he's the second best. Number three, I would personally say is Noah. And yes, in terms of obedience, he's probably lacking the most, in my opinion. Because think about it. Basically, since the beginning, first match against Basir Muchin and Barcha, is from day one. Isagi was disrespecting the play. Kaiser was disrespecting the play. Kunagami was disrespecting the play. Everyone was not disrespecting his tactics, but they weren't really following his tactics, and it's mostly because Noah, it's my fault, doesn't really like forcefully integrate his system. It's not like if you don't follow the system, you're not gonna play. He really just cares about if you're good enough, you'll make the starting lineup. But still, I don't think that's an effective tact. I don't think that's an effective method managerial wise. Yes, they've won every game. No, they haven't lost a single game. But still, on a manager standpoint, from his philosophy, I just don't think he's the better. Because I would personally take Loki or Snuffy purely because they have better obedience in the squad, better manager tactics in my opinion, and their track record is basically the same, except for Snuffy. But you know how it is because of plot armor, Luber's lost in my opinion. But yeah, that's why I think Noah is number three in the ranking of managers. Number four, I would say, is Krista Prince, and although yes, on an obedience standpoint, his squad, from what we know, has more obedience and listens to him more than Noah. But at the same time, you like, no matter how much obedience, how much tacticians you are, if you're getting cooked for a majority of the league, you really can't defend that, right? You're not gonna say, nah, he has a shot for three, right? And his tactics, well, his is not really tactics. His is more physical. Like, he focuses more on the body aspect, like the physical aspect of the player, more than the tactical sides of the game. So yeah, that's what I just think number four is a good spot for him, because I think we all know who number five is gonna be realistically standing. And on to number five, the worst manager I think in the Egoist League is Lavinho. I think it was pretty obvious it was always gonna be him. You know, there's many flaws to his game. He promotes more of a freestyle play, but that clearly isn't working. And from what we can tell, he only Bachata is hard carrying that squad. And Lavinho, his tactics don't work if he has any. Let's be real. He's not even. He seems like the I don't take it serious type. You know what I'm saying? So it's very easy to put him last. Um, loses every game. He's getting carried by one player. You really don't see any tactics or have him mention any tactics in the manga. So yeah, there's realistically no reason to assume he's anything but 5. All right, now for the second part of the rankings, how I think they are as a player. And this is going to be a different list in my opinion. Like the orders are going to be completely different. To start off with number 1, I'm going to say the best player overall is Snuffy still. I think even Noah even admits it in the manga. He even says as an all-rounder, Snuffy hasn't beat. The only thing he has the only thing Noah has against Snuffy is a striker, obviously. But as a player, overall player, Snuffy destroys. Number 2 though, then it goes to Noah, obviously. Best striker in the world, beat Messi and Ronaldo in the manga, in the manga, to a Ballon d'Or. And it's simple as that, best striker in the world. Simple, easy number 2. Number 3 though, I'm gonna say it's Chris the Prince, purely for rankings. Yes, he got quote unquote locked up by not Isagi, even though it was, let's be real, it was nothing really that it was impressive, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't like, oh my gosh, Isagi's guaranteed to be better than Chris the Prince now. Chris Prince, right? So I don't really see anything to that. Chris the Prince 4 and the third, he's third. I think he's hard stuck third, even though in the standings and Blue Lock he's considered second best. Nah, not really in my opinion. Not really. Number 4 though, I would say it's Lavinho. Basically, he's a flair player. From what we can tell, he lost to Noah in the Champions League or whatever they call it in Blue Lock. Um, Besides that, he scores goals in the Egos League, but it's against academy players basically. So like Wang, there's not really nothing that impressive. Um, Besides that, there's nothing really much to go off him as a player, besides his flair and stuff like that. The fact that he lost against Noah in the Champions League. But number 5, I will say it's Loki. But I know he has incredible potential, but that's the thing. It's potential. It's not actual hard stuck history. Potentially, Loki could be probably the best out of any of these guys, but that's the thing. Until that potential actually hits, you can't say Loki's guaranteed is a number 1, you know, or number 2 or number 3, whatever. I think he's the worst, really, because he's also only 17. He's Usagi's age. He's Usagi's age, and what you can say, like, that's all you can really say. He's 17. He's still maturing a lot as a player. Like, this is not even Loki's finished product, so it's very hard to say this Loki at 17 is better than Snuffy, Noah, Chris Prince, and Lavinho, right? So I think it's just an age thing. Only time will tell. It's it's an only time will tell thing. Obviously, as it gets older, I wouldn't be surprised if Loki becomes number 1 and stuff like that. But I just want to make this one simple because I feel like this one was a much easier thing to rank. That's why I'm gonna leave it for last. That's why I'm gonna leave it for last. But yeah, that's out the way. Video finished. That was a nice, easy video in my opinion because I'm Blue Lock analyst number 1. But thank you guys for watching. Let me know if you disagree. I understand if you disagree, especially if you're more analytical than me in Blue Lock, if I'm being honest. But this is coming from a basic Blue Lock enjoyer. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe and like if you haven't already. I'll be reviewing the next chapter soon. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Peace out.